Hey, it's Nick from Nick's Fix here. You like my hat? My wife got it for me for Christmas. Anyway, I want to cover an issue with Range Rovers. A common issue among many common issues is sunroof drains. So what happens is these drains up here can sometimes get clogged, and in the sunroof trough, the tray that the sunroof sits in is carbon steel, so it'll rust, and the nipple that the hose connects to breaks off, and then the hose ends up laying on the top of the headliner. Here's a picture of that. Here is a video of the water intrusion I was seeing. In this little rail here, put just a little bit of water. That ought to be enough. You look down here, and it runs down the B pillar. See the water moving because it's running. It's right down that B pillar, right down and soaking the crap out of the carpet. So anyway, there's videos out there, a couple, that show removing the entire headliner. You don't have to do that. I'm going to show you how to do it. Also, I think my repair is a little bit better. Let's get started. All right, to gain access to this, you got to remove the top trim pieces on the sides of the sunroof. Land Rover calls them roof moldings. Basically, you just pry these things up. They're pretty stout pieces. You're not going to break anything. I started with pulling the front of this and then worked my way towards the back. Okay, next you remove the weather sealing and the grab handles. There's a little tab up top. You can get like a little pick and pull the little plastic hinged door down, and then it'll reveal T30 screws. Pull all these out. Okay, let's remove the B pillar trim. Remove the lower piece. They call it the centerpiece. The lower one's all the way down on the carpet, but remove that center piece first. Once that is off, remove the airbag plug up at the top, and that's going to reveal an 8mm bolt. Pull that out, and then you can pull this upper piece out, start at the bottom, and pull it out, and you'll notice that there's two tabs up at the top, so after you pull it out, you're going to want to pull it down to get it off those tabs, and then just set it off to the side. Okay, now you got to remove your vents or your light. It kind of depends what you have with your options. If you have vents up in your headliner in the rear seats, you're going to have to pry the vent out, and that's going to reveal a T30 bolt behind there that secures the housing to the roof. If you don't have the vents, you're just going to have this light. Here's a picture of the little piece you got to remove, and then there's a T30 bolt behind that. Remove that. Okay, now just pull the headliner down slightly, and you can hold it down with like a rolled up t-shirt or a towel. In this picture, I got a 2x4 stuck in there. It'd probably be better if you just had a rolled up towel or something to just help it stay down so you can see what you're doing. All right, now get the tube and clean out the leftover bits inside there. There's going to be some rusty metal. It should come out pretty easily because it's so degraded. Just use like a pick or a standard screwdriver and get all the metal out of the inside of the tube. Okay, now drill out from the bottom with a 5/16 inch drill bit. I used a 5/16 inch bit with a 1/4 inch hex shank and a 12-inch extension. Here's a picture of what I used. Okay, and then you want to make sure that you drill this hole up from the bottom. Up top, there's not going to be much room at the angle that's at with the glass in there. So I drilled it up from the bottom. Now take your 1/8 inch NPT thread tap and tap the hole up from the bottom as well. Now I recommend you take the 1/8 inch to 1/8 inch NPT male to male fitting and test fit it. Screw it up in there and make sure your threads are good. All right, after the test fit, let's assemble all this together. Okay, so you got the 1/8 inch male to male NPT, and you got the 1/8 inch NPT inner threads to a 1/4 inch MIP thread. I put some epoxy on this to really lock it in, and then take this whole piece now, once you get these two pieces together, and screw it up into the hole from the bottom. Now you want to thread it in until it is nice and snug. Don't over tighten this, just nice and snug. You've got epoxy on these threads, and make sure that it's flush. Also clean the area around this on the sunroof tray and put epoxy in there. All right, now just go back inside the car and push the tube onto the 1/4 inch MIP threads. And as an option, you can use a hose clamp. It didn't come with a hose clamp from the factory, but, you know, just for added security, I put a hose clamp on here. All right, let's test this thing out. All right, there's the fitting screwed and epoxied in. Let's put some water in here. Fill this trough up. Oh yeah, look at that. No leaks on the headliner. And it is draining out behind the car, just as designed. Beautiful. Alright, you just got to reassemble everything in reverse order. You just got to put the headliner back up. Then you got to put the B-pillar trim back on. And then you got to put the grab handles, screw those back in. Screw your vent housing back in, and then put the vent back in. And then put the weather sealing back on. You're all done. Thanks for watching. Please like, please subscribe. Catch you next time.